All right. Hello, everybody. It is that time of year. Merry Christmas, everyone. And I have a very special guest here today joining us. Santa, how are you today?
I'm fine, Adam. How are you? Thanks for asking me to come on the show. It's a busy time of year for me, but I always got time for you, sir.
Yeah. It's been 2023. It's been another year together doing things, and a lot of different things have happened out there inside of manufacturing industry. And I know you have the elves working very hard this time of year. So thank you for taking the time to talk to me a little bit. It's a present to have you here. So looking forward to the conversation.
No problem.
Yeah. So what's happening now? What's going on in your world? I know you've been very busy, so tell us a little bit more about what you've been doing lately.
Yeah, so as you know, this time of year, it never stops really. It's as soon as you finish one Christmas, you're on to the getting the next one ready. But the reason we're talking about is these 3D printers. So I've got quite a few of the 3D printers up at the North Pole now. Elves are learning to use them, and yeah, we've got quite a few. We have industrial ones, we have the small ones as well. We train the elves on the smaller ones first, and yeah, they're printing a lot of the toys now. The good thing is you can with the printing you can customize the toys, so you can put the child's name on it. Yeah, and it's lots of different materials, and it's really busy.
It's a busy time of year in all of manufacturing across the world. I could get the toys ready, get presents ready for people. I won't leave off the naughty list for now, but hopefully there's a
Oh,
lot.
I've got the naughty list here. Look, so
Oh, okay. Well, hopefully,
the naughty list already here. I've got my naughty list. So.
yeah. Well, that's the goal, right? Is to stay away from the cold and the stockings, and hopefully, have the good stuff happening. And it's not too late to get into the Christmas spirit if you haven't already. So, we're counting on you out there to bring a lot of that into play. So, let's talk about what the elves have been doing, because I know there's a lot of demand out there for different toys in the industry, but also not only the children, but the grown-ups out there who are looking forward to this time of year. Have you seen a lot of changes over the years in the way that the elves have adapted to the 3D printing, the different technologies that they've brought on, and how is the training going up there? Is everything up to par from your side of it?
Yeah, you always get the naughty elf. Everybody sees him when the children go to bed. They're playing up inside the in the house, but most of them are really well behaved. They're pretty well trained. We're even actually assembling some of the printers for Christmas. So when you order your printer online, we're asking the elves putting these things together. So if you get one that's already arrived and it's assembled, then one of the elves has done it.
That's a good deal. Sounds like a really good deal there. Now, let's talk about what you've done with the actual sleigh. I know you've actually done some 3D printing work on the sleigh and added to some customization over the last few years. How's that been going for you?
Yeah, again, what we found with the 3D printing, the old sleighs are really nice, and it's nice to have tradition, but everybody has to move with the times. So we've got carbon fiber now, so we keep an eye on what's going in the Formula One industry and the motorsport. So we've got a monocoque made from carbon fiber now. We've put a few spoilers on the side, so it'll go a bit quicker. It makes it a bit easier for the reindeers to tow. And then the other thing we've been doing as well, we've been working on some trainers for the actual reindeer. So
Wow.
sometimes when they land on a slippy roof, they don't have much grip. So we had a look at the 3D printed trainers that are out there at the moment, and then we've developed a set of trainers for the reindeer, basically, so it helps them grip when they land on the roof.
That's awesome.
And I think what we'll do is I'll send you a picture later of that, so you can actually show the people. At the
Oh, that'd be
moment, we're
nice.
testing it. We're actually using the technology not to just make toys, but to repair toys. So, recycling is a big thing at the moment, something that we need to do more. So, we get broken toys and use it. The elves use the 3D printers. They can use CAD as well. So they can actually draw up a new part, print it, and then you recycle the toy so it goes to a good home.
Yeah, that's really important. Obviously, the whole concept there to design and then actually being able to produce a toy, but then also going out there and repairing some of the toys that need it and could be reused and put out there to make another child happy or another grown up happy, as we've been talking
Yeah.
about. Yeah, that's good stuff. So I know you've also been working on a lot of different nice ornaments and things like that for trees and really cool designs. What do you
Yeah,
see?
I've got a
Yeah.
couple here I can show you.
Uh-oh.
So yeah, so this one's one I built on one of our SOS machines. So
Ah,
yeah, I don't know
beautiful.
if you yeah. But yeah, but basically it's again, as you probably know, these things can make things that work. So this particular one, if you turn the centerpiece, the little statues inside, you can actually see them rotate. So it's it's taking ornaments to a new level for the tree. We've done a customized ornament, which I sent you a photograph earlier, which is for somebody that plays curling.
Oh, wow.
So we made a 3D printed like a miniature curling stone. The stone is printed from a filament which looks like marble, so it actually looks like the real thing, but in miniature. So it's the elves are they like playing with all these different materials. It's a bit of fun for them.
Yeah. Now you said you're visiting up there in England, and you have a lot of different things going on locally that you've been involved with. Can you tell us some about some of the local programs been getting involved with over there?
Oh well, I do quite a lot of work with helping people, education, and I got involved with a local museum in England, and it's interesting because it's nearly as old as me. This component. So a guy with a metal detector found a Bronze Age bangle.
Wow.
So
Can you
it's
describe what that is for people that don't know what that might be out there?
a bangle. It's actually again. I can see if I can send you a picture. It's
Perfect.
basically it's called an arm ring. So basically, it's a loop of metal. It looks like a bit like a big broken chain, and it actually used to slip on the top of the arm of a Bronze Age person, and it actually weighs so it's 360 grams.
Wow.
So I don't know what that is in the American side of things. I tend to work in the sort of metric side of things. The elves teach me how to do that.
We'll throw the conversion up there.
Unless I'm working with wood, that's feet and inches. If I'm working with the printers, and most of the printers now, they're all metric, so you get used to doing that sort of things. And then what this thing is 900 BC. So we've 3D scanned it, and then we're actually making a replica for the museum so they can actually display the real bangle inside a glass cabinet, but the children can actually have the 3D printed one to actually test and use.
Wow, that sounds really cool.
All over a lot on my fire. It's getting a bit chilly up there. Excuse me.
Hey, all right. There you go. Look at that. Beautiful live fireplace. Keeping you warm for right now. And talking about keeping you warm, how has Mrs. Claus been doing? Is she able to really support the things that are going on this year with all the busy times?
Yeah, she's doing really, really well. She has her own little business as well, so she's working away, coming up with new ideas. Some of the times I'm working with her, and we actually make some tools. So she makes some Christmas cards.
Nice.
So we make a tool that we can put an embossed piece in the center of the card, and then we 3D print the tool. So it's not just about building parts; it's using it for jigs, fixtures, fittings. So yeah, she's keeping really, really busy. And then Santa's mum's up for the Christmas, so he's looking forward to that. But she won't see me much. I've got we're going to be doing a lot of traveling.
Doing a lot of traveling, that's for sure.
Oh, hang on a minute. Excuse me a minute.
Uh-oh.
Oh, it's one of the elves. Hang on.
Nice.
So, we've been working. This is a secret, so we can actually show you something that has never been done before.
Oh wow! How cool! Oh, look at this. Oh.
So we've been asked. Thanks very much. Are you going to put the next bill? We'll put the next bill on. Okay. Aww. Right. I'll see you later. So what we've been doing is we've been working with one of our customers. I shouldn't really tell you this, but one of the customers is Mr. Wonka.
Uh-oh. Yeah, okay, the infamous, yes.
He's developed a new candy cane. And the elves have modified one of the printers, so he's actually going to be 3D printing the sweets.
Uh-oh. Ooh, yummies. Yeah, that's a big thing.
Hopefully that's not giving too many secrets away.
Yeah. No. I appreciate you giving us a little insight on that. Something that a lot of people are getting
But you
into
can see
now is
the
looking into
elves,
3D
the elves
printed
are
food.
pretty nice. The elves knock the door. They're well behaved.
Yeah, we got to see the elf on the side stool there for you, the side table. That was pretty neat to see one of the little elves in the picture. And
Yeah,
I wanted to ask you while we have you here, Christmas is right upon us. We have our new year coming upon us, 2024, and you've been talking about a lot of the progression that's gone inside of the manufacturing and 3D printing industry, and what you've been using there to get the tools made and all the presents prepared. Going forward in the future, can you give us a little bit about what you see as maybe things that are going to be happening out there in the 3D printing industry, and what you think might benefit from happening even?
well, I kept an eye on the 3D printing industry for a long time. When I know Mr. Hall invented the technology, I was like, oh, okay, that's really cool. It's like something that Santa could really invent, to be honest. So actually, I printed one of the first toys actually that actually was ever in a seen on screen. So I don't know if you can see this, guys. Chip Hazard.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Let me get out my chair. Oh, I'm a bit old now. See
Yeah,
that?
that's all right. Oh hey, cool. Thank you
There
for
you
showing.
go. So
Oh yeah, one of the first 3D prints.
that thing's 30 years old. So
Wow. Yeah, you don't realize
yeah.
how much
So
time.
I keep an eye on what's happening in the industry, and there's some really good technology coming along. I'm also a big fan of like science fiction and stuff.
Oh, cool.
I think at some point we'll end up with like a replicator, like you get in Star Trek,
Yep.
where you just say, "That's what I want one of those." You press the button, and it appears.
It's been the
A bit like me
dream.
coming, a bit like me coming down the chimney. So
Yeah, a little bit of magic in there, but yeah, we've seen the magic and the reality. There's a lot of things. Obviously, tools in the toolbox of manufacturing, 3D printing being a big one of those, and looking in the manufacturing production side, it's been a lot of great developments over the last 30 years. But even in the last few years, how we've been seeing a lot of things pick up with metal and composites and different materials, and it's just been amazing to see what can be done. But we look forward to seeing a lot more coming up in the future. So. Thanks for
well,
taking the time to talk
I
about
had
it
a
for a
couple.
while.
I sent a couple of the elves in disguise to
Oh,
over to Frankfurt.
okay.
So it's always something I keep an eye on the technology. So they've had a look around. Some really interesting stuff. The bigger machines now. I'll be able to 3D print a full sleigh soon. So
Yeah, it's
looking
almost
forward
there.
to that. Make it lighter, cheaper. Yeah, there's a couple of machines that I think that are really interesting. So I saw, I think the meld with the big machine is really interesting because
Wow.
what that does, it can actually lay material down, but it machines it at the same time. So when it's finished, you get a fully machined part coming off the machine.
Yeah,
So I
the
think
hybrid integrated side of it.
the hybrid machines are going to be interesting.
Yeah, I agree. That's a good call on that. There's a lot of interesting things happening with the hybrid side of it, and of course, everything working together is part of the production system. So great to see that going on. I come from also the background in the metrology world of the inspection. You talked about scanning, reverse engineering, and all that side of it. It all is part of that manufacturing chain. The value chain of what you can be doing. So looking forward to seeing a lot more of that as we go on into 2024. It's been a challenging year for a lot of us out there, and I know that this isn't sometimes some of the difficult times is through the holidays. So it's good to focus on the family and friends you have around you. And I'm really happy to have you to talk to a little bit. It's my first time being able to talk to Santa during the Christmas season here. So other than all the messages I sent you as a child, it's been a long time. So good to chat
Honest,
about things.
I know if you look in the book, your name's not really never been appeared in there. So
Yeah, well, that's a good thing. I try to stay off the naughty list as much as possible. None of us are, immune to it. That's for sure. Oh boy. So is there anything you want to share about that list? I know you have it there with you.
well, I think one of I think the on the naughty list for the 3D printing industry. What can I think of? Yeah, I think the elves get a bit disappointed sometimes when they get a new machine and they promise that it'll do a certain thing, and then they struggle to make it work. So I think realistically selling the machines and the capabilities is something that's really important. The elves get really frustrated when want to do a certain thing and they're told they can, and all of a sudden the machine won't do it. So I think that will help me as well. That will help. It stops us getting the naughty elves as well.
Yeah.
But
little push to
that's the
that
main
side.
thing, really. Yeah, I think that's the main thing. You know, the technology is amazing. Yeah, like I said, we're using it for the metals now. The metals are really taking off. You know, and I can actually 3D print new rails for the sled.
Wow. Yeah.
And then you've got lightweight and the intricacy of my sleigh on the sides. So you can actually use the topography where I can actually design the sleigh now, and then the piece of software will actually make it strong, structural, but makes it light, so it uses a minimal amount of materials. That's the other thing. Good thing is there's, you know, the fact that you're not wasting as much materials.
That's a big side of it too. Yeah.
You know, I think it's been interesting for the children to actually have the low end machines, being able to buy them, which is really good, which will hopefully get us.
Yeah, I keep a Prusa machine over here. You know, always ready to go. Some parts have had fun printing on it. Fun little toys that you can play with, but you know,
if you ever need a job in the North Pole, then you know, just drop me a mail.
Yeah. You know, always looking for that side work. You know, a little side hustle happening with Santa would be great.
Yeah, Santa at northpole.com. So
there you go. Well, it is a pleasure and a gift to have you here, Santa. Thank you for joining me. Before we get going, is there anything else you'd like to talk about while we have you here?
I'm trying to think if there's anything else I've got, really. No, you know, I'm developing new things all the time, new applications. The Elves come up with ideas as well. That's one of the things, you know. You don't need to be at the top end of your game to actually help develop these things. You know, listen to the people that work with you. Again, teamwork. That's the other thing. We've got the AM in team.
Hey,
so that's one of the things I preach to the Elves. You know, they always share ideas. Sometimes they're a bit stupid, but you never know which one's going to work. So you always listen to them all. So it's I think it's looks like it's going to be a good year ahead. I think it's going to be a challenge again, but I think it's, you know, if we all work together, then we can make this a stronger industry.
That's right. And I want to do another shout out there. I see another print that you have that we share. I'll hold my little guy up here and say hello to you from this side of the world. And there you go.
So this one's actually made from wood filament.
Well, there you go. Like an actual.
Again, because he's a tree, I like, you know, the Elves want to make. Again, the Elves are pretty. What's the word? They like to do things correctly.
Yes.
Yeah. So because he's a tree, they make it out of the wood filament. So yeah, that's the other thing that's important with these technologies, is making sure you use the right material for the application that you're using it for.
That's correct. And this is a really cool thing. This is actually done with the dyeing system and not the color of filament. So it was white that was dyed blue. So there you go. Another one of the post processes that can happen out there in 3D printing, but it's good for the toys.
I think they're the other things that are important now. Is we've got the post processing is a really important thing. And the other thing that we need to do is get the standards in place. So I've got health and safety. You know, I've got my own Elves that are into health and safety. Yeah. So when we practice something, if it goes out the door and kids are playing with it, we've got to make sure it's okay for them. So that's something I think, and I've seen quite. You know, I keep an eye on it, and there's a few companies coming along now, and I think that's really what we need. Move forward is materials, new materials all the time. Materials are what make me come up with new ideas for what I can use this for. And then making sure that we get standards with these materials that we can actually move from the 3D printing to the additive manufacturing better.
Yep, there you go. That's the side that going from the design, the concept, and actually moving it into a production system, looking at not only toys, but end-use parts, even mission-critical parts that are made out there from additive manufacturing. So it's a big push of that. We see a lot of great things happening out there in the space world when you get above the stratosphere up there.
It's one of the sort of toys that we've recycled.
Cool.
This is,
Recycled.
I don't know if you, I think you, this is from Bob the Builder.
Bob the Builder. Yep.
Yeah, so this is one of his characters called Rolly. Now, this is 30 years old, this toy. And it got broken. So what we did is, one of the elves, they used CAD. He's actually rebuilt the black piece. They rebuilt the front suspension on it and with
Oh, wow.
the sort of the wings. So hopefully it'll live another 30 years.
Nice. Yeah, there's an extra piece to actually hold it back together.
Yeah. So then what the elves do is they don't just make the thing. They actually look at how it was designed in the first place. Then they look, can we, with additive manufacturing, you've got this DfAM, that's correct.
Designed for additive manufacturing. Yeah, you got it.
So the elves are using that all the time. So when they get a part that's broken, they analyze it, look at what caused the problem, why did it break, where's the weakness, and then they redesign it. So they make it better, so it'll last longer. And again, a lot of the filaments you can get now, there's people working on recyclable materials. So yeah, it's all very positive.
It is. And there's a lot of great things going on, like you said, in the sustainability side. Here in the U.S., we have the Additive Manufacturers Green Trade Association, which has done a lot with looking at life cycle analysis and what happens out there. And yeah, getting into, what can be repaired, what can be redone, or actually, like you're saying, you can go into something then and fix something out there. And that you see a lot looking into like the oil, gas industry when they fix out in the field. There's a lot of things happening that are really cool. I'm here in Texas, so we hear a lot about that. And looking forward to seeing a lot more happening as we move forward. Great talking with you, Santa. Oh my gosh, looking forward to your big day, and thank you for joining us. It's going to be so exciting to see what happens this year and looking into 2024. So here we go.
Okay, and I just want to say a big shout out to the additive manufacturing industry. They're doing a fantastic job. Just keep positive, push it. Let's push it to its limits, and then hopefully at some point I'll be able to press a button and then my sledge will just appear. So I have different ways of doing that anyway. So
yes, the magic is still there, but we'll have to save that for another time here. Yeah.
Yeah. So the other thing you have to remember is just be, never forget the old stuff as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because sometimes one of the best ways of finding solutions is combining the technologies together. Handwork, machines, traditional machining, 3D printing. When you put them all together, my elves basically analyze a part before they make it, and then they decide how they're going to do it. So one part might go off to an elf to be handmade, craftsmanship. The other part might go to the 3D printers, and then they come together to make the best solution for the application.
Yep. There's a lot of the trades out there that are very hands-on, that move into what you do before you would even bring it into a CAD system and things like that. And like we talked about, a lot of software development now in the modern age, but really good also to have those background skills, and to be able to work with things with your hands and get out there and make something happen. So I know you've been doing that for years, and thank you so much. And thank the elves and thank Mrs. Claus. Really happy to have everything going on for Christmas and looking forward to seeing you again.
It was a real pleasure, Adam. Everybody have a great Christmas and New Year.
Merry Christmas, everybody. Thank you so much.
Yeah, bye. Bye.